lot of dirt.
Jumped in the gas.
No. There was a lot of dirt on the racetrack. Yeah, those guys have been going through the dirt. Very, very easy to do back.
But it's still on the lead lap.
Well, there's a lot of... He just ran it kind of loose through there.
Exactly like Kevin Harvick.
There's an old saying in road racing, the leader cleans the track for everybody. Ken Bowman.
Yeah, he got dumped.
Ooh, boy, just Bowman tried to squeeze by. You can see Reddick was just, he felt like he had the lane to get to the inside of Busher. Busher blocked it and closed the door, and then Reddick.
Inside in the chicane. Ryan Blaney.
Thing. Just come around on him.
I mean, right there, it looked like it was up. But he definitely in an awkward position right there. You know what I've actually seen in that situation, Clint?
I think the tires
are up. But I've seen where you get a little bit of extra air to the nose. Sometimes the way that air comes around the rear of the car can actually put more downforce in the front of the car and make the car pin the nose and turn the trial where he goes to the middle, and Brad
just didn't
comes
know
up. He came down a little bit. I just don't think Brad knew he was there and gave him enough room.
Well, that's that race. Yeah, that's that desperation race that we were talking about. I mean, he had to get ahead of Noah, and he was going for it right there for him.
What's happening coming off turn 4? Cut that right front.
Wow,
hard hit.
Just such a bad angle. That was a hard lick.
Cutting all that grass down. Somehow they'll make it beautiful for tomorrow's Daytona 500. I don't know if he'll be able to drive that car out of the grass at this point.
Last year, Daytona was the only start that Scott Reeves made. He finished 33rd in that one.
They will get Scott Reeves out of the grass, and we will get back to racing. Only 4 laps to go here at Daytona. You're watching the ARCA Series on FS1. This is what brought out our 4th caution flag of the day. Got a little wet and wild for Scott Reeves. Big hit coming off of turn 4. Cut that right front tire. Goes sliding through the infield. And it is a watery, muddy, grassy mess. He did get out of the car. Walked under his own power to the medics. He'll get checked out in the infield care center. Let's listen to some radio from our leader, Corey Heim.
Gracie tried to get in the back of him, gets him sideways, and then I guess maybe he lost a little bit of momentum, and Gracie looked like she was just trying to stay in line but made more contact. There's the initial contact right there. It gets him sideways, and that slows his momentum, and then she just couldn't stay off him right there. And around he goes. He makes a little bit of contact with his other teammate, Drew Dollar. Then Greg Van Alst, Nick Sanchez come along with absolutely nowhere to go. Tough break for Derek Griffith, who had such a good car. How about Brett Holmes on the...
Something with the 15 having an initial problem. Tanner Gray didn't get going.
And, you know, there's just no way for those drivers to see through the other trucks. Joe Cobb on the bottom does a nice job.
Of James Busher.
That's a hard one to figure, Vince. And, Jamie, what do you see there? The wreck was well behind when Gray had problems, and most of the trucks around him got by. You'd think they would have had issues.
Yeah, and we got a report that Tanner knew he had an issue coming to the green, and it was
a series of shocking events for this team.
Had some contact on track on the first lap of the race, then some contact on pit road.
Look at that view. That's a great camera shot.
He's drifting and mowing the grass.
That left rear tire was cut down.
This is how it began.
See the 19 truck on the right outside, middle of the screen. There it goes. I think.
Yeah,
maybe you
see it already starting to wiggle, and he knows that. It makes a great save right here not to get into the outside wall, and also everyone else did a great job around him not to get Eric. It looks like he cut a tire down again.
Yeah.
You know, once you get the damage, it's hard to keep all the tires clearance. You also don't know if a crush panel, something's fallen off, and then you're running over it. But that's 2 what appears to be left rear tires. Those are the right rear actually is cut down this time.
I think it got the right rear, but it wasn't significant. Well, it's pretty significant, but what all he's been through, I think he can still run on.
There you see Truex sliding through the picture.
I think he got bumped from behind, Vince.
Well, I would agree.
Yeah, and he's going to be okay. It doesn't look like he has any body damage at all from the flat. If you're going to,
is that a bump draft gone bad there, Jamie? Looks like
I'm going to have another angle of that. I couldn't tell what happened.
Friesen was involved in that. Surprisingly, on through, and Ankram's bobbing and weaving, and here comes Gilliland. I think right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that Ankram's truck was already light in the back. It didn't look like Todd hit him very hard there, but when you're in the middle, most vulnerable, and he's so lucky right there that he didn't get collected.
Yeah, because Sheldon wasn't driving through there.
Sheldon slowed down, and Jason, it looked like, got into him, and they couldn't stop.
Ankram was wasting no time on this restart.
Well,
squeezing
you can't.
past Doza, absolutely.
John Hunter off. Did a nice job of preparing for what might happen.
And there was David Gilliland.
Yeah.
Coming to pit road under this caution. Coming back for the restart at Daytona.
Todd Gilliland was kind of indecisive there. He didn't go to the second lane, and he didn't go up and block that outside lane, and that's what put them 4 wide. You get in that position and you're waiting on your spotter to clear you one way or the other, and if the spotter's not 100% sure.
Watch right here. Gilliland's okay. Maybe. Oh, and
it looked like he had a little help from behind, actually, that shot him up.
That'll make you lose the front end of your truck.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Only 3 vehicles took significant damage. Not too heavy a damage there. Back.
Yeah, really hard to see what happened there.
How difficult is it to see when you go through that speedy drive? I mean, from
I think it's worse.
It looks like it's really difficult.
I think it's worse from the perspective we see here on TV, but definitely it's hard to see through that. But you got to remember, it's only 2 or 3 seconds, and you're essentially going straight. If nothing happens in front of you, see her, it has a pretty big impact she had on that inside wall.
Oh, Timothy Peters trying to get in a hole that's not there.
Yeah, Drew Dollar in the 51 didn't have anywhere to go.
No, that was not Drew Dollar's fault. To see if he survives this little conflict, and then Peters right back up into traffic. How much damage does Johnny Sauter get?
Clip Sauter there in the left rear.
Carson Hocevar.
A lot of innocent victims.
You know, we hear it all the time. When you want to make a move, you just have to be so aggressive, because if you ease down like you see Timothy Peters there, that gap gets filled up, and it's it's 4 laps to go right now. No one's going to give you any room or let off at this point.
That's just trying to close a hole that was already occupied.
Yeah.
Several of those drivers just had absolutely nowhere to go.
John Hunter looks like not major damage.
Now his didn't look
that right. Look at how fast he was going. Great move by Jordan. Ben Rhodes, Roper.
Corey Roper. When they came around, I thought Corey Roper was going to win the race.
I did too. I thought he made a great decision. Initially, I thought he was just going to push Sheldon Creed for that whole last lap, but when he ducked to the inside and then everybody lined up behind him, I thought he was going to be hard to beat.
What about Carson Hocevar? He comes across in the 5th position in that 42 truck. And he's been in 2 or 3 wrecks.
Yep, Ryan Truex, we haven't talked much about tonight. He just bided his time, and he ends up with a top 5 finish. Well done.
What a crazy last lap. That's fun to watch.
Let's ride with the 98 of Grant Enfinger.
I'm not a big fan of watching all the trucks wreck, but it is fun to watch all the moves that they're made, and Jordan Anderson coming from 11th or 12th. I'm telling you, I thought this was the truck that was going to win. He had such a massive run, but then he gets clipped right there by Chandler Smith. And
he hasn't lifted yet, though.
He hasn't, because he can see the finish line. I think we've all done that at some point.
He's kind of down there minding his own business. Oh, got put 3 wide. Yep. Moved up to pull a side draft off those guys. That guy got to his inside, moved down to make the block, and it was too late. That's the way I saw it. How about you, Tone?
And that happens so often.
Yep.
It's so.
Everybody's trying to jockey for position, get down to the bottom to where they can pit.
And this 9 times out of 10 is miscommunication.
You can see it right here with the 9 start to get loose right here. Oh, then Michael Annette.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, this is miscommunication where the spotters mid-pack and back of the pack have no idea that those lead lap cars are getting ready to pit and miss that, so they don't give that information to the drivers. And they just think a second line's developing on the bottom, and next thing you know, as soon as they come off of 4, they start checking up.
Well, some of them aren't getting that information. I mean, you know, that is, you know, inside information you're getting from a team, from an organization, obviously from a manufacturer like that, but you can see everybody getting on the binders to try to figure out what they're doing.
That's Cindric leading them. Looked like Josh Berry was going to come down. Justin Allgaier.
Hit it all accordion, clear from the front.
And watch the 9 car in the center of the screen there. Bam! Gets hit in the back. He's got the wreck made. He's done a good job of staying out of trouble, and then gets hit from a car from behind.
Heads up move from Austin Cindric and his team, too, because you could see pit road closed. The light went on, and he immediately darted up from the lead. Obviously, gave up the lead.
Look at that!
Whoa,
and there goes Ty Dillon. Big crash.
Didn't see that coming. Ty Dillon moved out, tried to go 3 wide.
The race car.
Just got turned in the right rear.
And that black car, Jeff Burton. And this is going to be the onboard, the visor cam with Jeff.
That's like back in your era, Jeff.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Almirola Bowman.
Big shot.
Oh,
yep.
He just got over on that right side.
I can tell you another part of that equation, Jeff. These cars, they have skew in the rear ends. That's obviously for speed and make the cars go fast, make them pull up to other cars. It's also, in my experience, makes them squirrely. When that car hits him, it pushes that car into the steer of the rear end, and it can turn you in a heartbeat.
Or so reminiscent when Eric Almirola lost the lead in the closing yards of this race in 2018.
He was along for the ride. As soon as that contact hit, it just turned his car right. He took the words right out of my mouth. Unbelievable. Crushing blow to so many teams, so many efforts that it goes into having fast cars and being at this Daytona 500. That was a lot of heavy hitters in this one.
We're going to ride with Ryan Newman through this.
Well, look at that 24 car go up on the side on 2 wheels.
Smashed just as badly as he got with his primary car
that's
Thursday
his
night.
backup car.
At least a dozen cars involved. Oh, David Reagan torn up as well.
Starting to get a little soft. Slow leak in that left rear, and now you can really see it get on the sidewall and get flat, and it just comes around.
Incidental contact with Stenhouse and then him into Kyle Larson.
Yeah, and I think Stenhouse may have had a little bit of contact with the 5 of Kyle Larson. Right there, he's doing everything he can.
Long for the ride.
There goes Chase Elliott. Let's ride with him through this.
Just staying inside. It's a freeze in your mirror. The 5 top gonna hit. Mid, down, good down.
McDowell in tow. Dillon on the bottom.
The run's on top. Oh! Teammates.
Around they go in a hard crash. Kyle Busch.
Kyle Larson.
Caution is out.
Bubba Wallace is in this. Austin Cindric. Hard hit by Kyle Busch.
Caution's out.
McDowell is first to the line, but Front Row Motorsports has won the Daytona 500.
How about that?
Man.
That's a huge win for Michael McDowell and that team. Doesn't get any bigger than this.
And a huge crash